All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new here. Appreciate you guys joining me today and waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up. Before we can even talk about anything, I have to give a thank you to Irate Volcano for renewing his membership. Irate Volcano, thank you so much for that. I want to see some W's in the chat for Mr. Irate Volcano here. Uh breaking news. PlayStation Twitter. What? Introducing the beta program at PlayStation. A new centralized place for you to register your interest in future PlayStation betas, from testing, participating PS5 and PC games, new PS5 console features, and more. Yeah, so they put this out as soon as I went live here, or 5 minutes ago, I should say. We'll look into that. We'll talk about that. I don't know what this is, but what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well today. The main topic of discussion today is actually going to be on next gen. Well, we're talking about a bunch of different things, but one of the main focal points of discussion today is going to be the fact that there are apparently already Xbox dev kits out in the wild. Next generation Xbox dev kits, I should say. And, it's interesting. Their link doesn't even work yet. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't click it yet. But yeah, Xbox next gen dev kits. I want to talk about why I'm not sure that it will really matter that much, to be honest. I'm just not sure that it's going to matter. But it is interesting, nonetheless. It is interesting because it does mean that Microsoft is indeed hitting the ground running when it comes to next gen. They are trying to come out quick. And Scuba Tank Filled with Farts comes in. Love the name, bro. Always love the name. Renews his membership. That's the second membership renewal of the day. Thank you so much for that. Scuba Tank Filled with Farts. And always appreciate it. Guys, let's get some W's in the chat. Corey, what's up, man? Michael, what's going on? Illegal Monkey. Appreciate you guys joining me today. I guess we'll have to talk about this new PlayStation beta program before we go over anything else, because that was just announced. What even are these dev kits? Here's what's really interesting about the idea of a next generation Xbox dev kit already being out there. What's interesting about that is it means that the hardware is already locked in, dude. Like, it's already done. What's up, Hellbound? Michael Lynch with a $5 super chat says PlayStation 7 catching the next Xbox in sales will be like Usain Bolt catching a fat kid in junior high. Thank you for that, Michael. I feel like you just broke my brain with that, bro. And Corey the Legend Landiga comes in, immediately dropping 5 membership gifts for you guys. Corey doing his thing. He's already flexing. It's just a light flex, though. Just a light flex with 5 memberships gifted. Corey, thank you so much, man.
I'll be back.
Corey always comes back. I'll add that to the counter. I forgot to put this up, by the way. Hold on. Yeah, so if we hit 50 members today, when we are done our regular stream, we will go over to a members lounge where I will do some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake gameplay. I had to reinstall the PS4 version apparently because that's where my save data is. It's been a long time since I played it, but if we end up hitting that goal today, we can head over there. We will be doing a members lounge either way, so no worries. Let me update this though real quick. Corey dropped 5 bomb. Add that. We're at 7 already, so we're making some solid progress. I do appreciate that, guys. All right. Grady uses his milestone chat, a member for 15 months, and says, "What's good, everyone? Hope everyone is well." What's going on, Grady? I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing good. We're doing as good as we can, I guess, right? We're hanging in there, playing games. Gameplay? You play video games? Believe it or not, Angry Well Watcher, I do, in fact, play video games. I know this might come as a bit of a surprise. It's been a long time since I played Tony Hawk, though, man. I was actually checking. Apparently, the last time I played on that file was in 2020. So it's been like 5 years, which it doesn't even feel like it was that long ago. We have Fred Vance, longtime member, 57 months. Fred, I think you're just like 3 months away, I think, from getting the final badge. Yeah, he says a few more months and I get my 5-year badge. That's amazing, Fred. Thank you so much for that, bro. That's awesome. I'm excited for you because I think there's only one person that has that final badge. So it's going to be cool to see some more people getting that. Let me see if that link is working yet. So yeah, Sony announced this beta program. Here we go. So the link is working. Registration for a new beta program at PlayStation starts today. Boss, you coming up, bro? Not sure yet. This was written up by Sid Schumann, senior director. Be a part. If I could read, I'm gonna have a struggle today, guys. Be a part of delivering the very best experiences from PlayStation through the beta program at PlayStation. Over the years, many of you have participated in various beta programs across Sony Interactive, which has helped us deliver the best possible gaming experiences to gamers around the world, and we're truly grateful for your participation. That's why I'm pleased to introduce the beta program at PlayStation Initiative. It's an easier, more consolidated way for gamers to sign up to participate in future PlayStation betas across a wide range of PlayStation experiences. The beta program at PlayStation will create an easy, centralized place for you to register your interest in a range of future PlayStation betas. A single registration for a beta program at PlayStation will allow you to express interest in gaining beta access to test participating games for the PS5 console and PC, new PS5 console features, PlayStation app features, and even user experience features on PlayStation.com. You only need to sign up once to express interest in these various betas, and if you receive an invitation to a specific beta, it's up to you to decide whether you would like to participate or not. Here are the requirements to be eligible. Players must have a valid account for PlayStation Network in good standing with a current email address. Accounts with restrictions or violations may not be eligible for participation. Players must live in the region where beta program at PlayStation is available. Players must meet the legal age requirement for their region. It's free to join and register, and registration will begin to open up globally starting today at PlayStation.com/beta program at PlayStation. Please check back later if the page is not yet available in your region. And they say here, additionally, while we try to include as many players as possible in our beta programs, sometimes we may get more interest than we can accommodate. By joining this program, it enables you to be considered for the beta participation, but it doesn't guarantee selection for a beta test. Just something to remember. And again, a big thanks to those of you who have participated in all the betas we've offered across Sony Interactive over the years. It's about to get easier and more convenient. So, what do we make of this? A new centralized beta program. Hey, boss, you signing up for the PlayStation beta? Yeah? You want me to sign up for it? I'm telling you, man. This is Concord's doing. Sony's like, we got to beta test everything. We got to beta test it 3 times over. I do wonder what this means, like how far reaching it is. not what it means, but like how far reaching it is for something like the PlayStation 6. Sony should charge $20 a month to beta test like Microsoft does. Oof. Oof. I mean, this has to be for like some pretty significant changes they're planning on making, right? That's my guess. Be a Med, a member for 14 months, says, "What's up, MBG? I forgot I had a milestone chat. Split Fiction reviews are out and seem good. Are you and or Mrs. MBG going to play?" She has expressed interest in this game. I have to admit, I'm not that interested in it. I just, I don't know. It's not really speaking to me, but we'll see. You know, Mrs. MBG is expressing interest in it, so maybe there's a chance we'll play it together. I did see it as getting good review scores, though. I think it's sitting at like a 90 on Metacritic or something. Bro, hey, whoa, take it easy, buddy. It's not time yet. It's not time. You're good on betas. You'll wait for the official releases. I mean, yeah, I usually feel the same way, but I think it really depends on what it is exactly. What's interesting about this is it just seems like they want a large pool of people to just be able to be like, hey, you want to try this out? It does sound like it's going to be more convenient. What's up, Whiskey Gaming? Fred, you're saying if it is anything like the old beta program, they should have a survey everyone does to see who should be selected for PlayStation console or PC. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you this chaotic already, bro? It's at a 91 now. Oh, okay. Wow. Game of the Year contender? I mean, It Takes Two won Game of the Year. So we could be looking at a Game of the Year contender here. Can we get an Xbox One remake? Listen, Microsoft needs to call the next Xbox 720. If they don't do that, they're just making a big mistake. Used to love doing betas, but nothing fun about software that might not work on my expensive devices. The only time I really care about betas is if it's for like a multiplayer game that I'm itching to play like right now, which doesn't happen that often, or if they're just convenient. Like, here's a free open beta, give it a shot. You know, if it's like that, then sure. I don't mind. But I don't know, I might try to sign up because the important thing is they're saying here that if you do get selected, you you don't have to do it. You don't have to do the beta. But this guy. So I don't know. I might try signing up for it. The Shuhei Yoshida Team Asobi interview was cool. I must have missed that one. Come on. Bro, I'm trying to run it. I'm trying to host a show here. Let me correct that, by the way, real quick. I put 7 members, but we're actually at 8. So let me fix that. Whiskey Gaming, longtime member for 48 months. Man, you are closing in on that 5-year badge as well. Saying, I'm curious if it will be limited to games or include experimental UI features, possibly testing things for the PlayStation 6 or the new handheld. It is about that time for them to start fleshing that stuff out for those future products. I mean, that's what's interesting to me is the timing of it. You know, it's basically I'm coming into today's stream. We're going to be talking about next gen consoles. You know, and what's going on with the Xbox dev kits, what that means for the PlayStation 6. We're going to be talking about other stuff as well, but it is interesting, the timing, right? This new centralized, streamlined beta program. I would imagine, Whiskey Gaming, that a big part of this is exactly that. It's to kind of make it easier to gather data in preparation for the PlayStation 6. Because if there's one thing that I've talked about quite extensively with you guys, is that I think Sony has a really difficult and challenging task ahead of them, and that is they're gonna have to I think thread a needle with the PlayStation 6, because there are so many different things happening across the industry right now, and there's so many different expectations that are placed on Sony specifically and on the next generation of consoles, that I feel like they're in this position where just one wrong move, I think, could be, I don't want to say disastrous, maybe that's a bit hyperbolic, but it could, one wrong move could have bigger consequences than, say, what we've seen so far with the PlayStation 5 generation and what we saw with the PlayStation 4 generation. I think going into the next generation of consoles, there's going to just be a greater expectation where, if you look at the way people kind of talk about this generation, especially when you look at the Xbox side of things, people are like, bro, this generation has been a joke. I don't agree with that when it comes to the PlayStation side of things. I think Sony's actually done better than people kind of make it sound, but there's no denying that it could have been better. And so the PlayStation 6, I believe, is going to be a difficult sell. Not for everybody, but for the wider market. I think it's going to be much more difficult to convince people to move from PS5 to PS6. To convince them like, hey, this is why it's going to be worth it, especially considering that the PS6 is likely going to be pretty expensive. So the idea of them wanting to kind of beta test things and really get a feel for what's going to work, what's going to appeal to current PlayStation 5 owners and current PlayStation users, I think is the smartest way to go about it. Now, how far that's going to extend, I don't know, right? I mean, why would you buy a PS6 when PS5 will be good for years? Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's the challenge that Sony's going to face, because the interesting thing about Microsoft going into next generation is Microsoft, it doesn't really matter for them, right? Like, Microsoft is just like, yo, here's our next gen console. We'll give it a little marketing push and we'll hype it up, but if the general response is, we don't really care. Microsoft's just gonna be like, all right, well, that's cool. As long as, just make sure you buy our games, or, play on PC or whatever, or play xCloud, subscribe to Game Pass. It doesn't matter. The difference with Sony is that the PlayStation 6 is going to be their main business model. The PlayStation is their main business model, and there's no denying that support for the PlayStation 5 is going to last a long time, even going into the PlayStation 6 generation, but they're going to want to move people over. Absolutely. They're going to want to try to move people over rapidly to the PlayStation 6, and that's going to be, I think, a difficult task. I don't think it's going to be as easy to move people over from the PS5 to the PS6 as it was to move them over from the PS4 to the PS5. I think some of the reasons are kind of obvious, but some of them maybe not so obvious. But what you're saying is true. The PS5 is going to get support for many years, and I don't know, man. I think the biggest challenge Sony truly has, in all honesty, is, especially because the PS5 Pro exists, like, you don't want people, when the PlayStation 6 is revealed, to walk away being like, well, that just seems like it's a PlayStation 5 Pro Plus. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a PlayStation 5 Pro 2.0. You don't want people doing that. You want people to be able to look at the PS5 Pro and look at the PlayStation 6 and be like, oh yeah, there's a big difference, like a very big difference. And that's going to be really hard. I don't know how you do that. That's what I mean when I talk about the challenge that Microsoft is going to face. That's why I think Sony's going to face, but I think Microsoft doesn't really care about that challenge too much, because they're just like, well, we're just going to give you a much better console, call it next gen, and just kind of move forward very quickly, because people aren't buying our consoles currently. MBG, poll if people believe that just because Steam has 40 million, it's time to panic. Oh, you're talking about the 40 million Steam users? Panic. It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Is it right? Hellbound 1981. Another legend comes in and drops 5 more membership gifts for you guys. Let's get some W's flowing in the chat for Hellbound. Showing some strong support for the community once again. Always appreciate that, Hellbound. What soundbite would you like? Let me know what soundbite you want me to play, and I'll play it for you, bro. That brings us up to 13 members. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're getting Boss closer to his treats. Hang in there. I know it's hard. Survive. I need to make that a soundbite. Almost. It's almost time. Let me add that to the counter real quick. If they refuse to make new games, then of course no one will buy their consoles. Well, yeah. MBG, if they can get a better NM die from AMD that offers similar to the Pro model for PS6, then a Pro model should not be needed. Well, we do know that Sony has a pretty significant partnership with AMD going into the PS6, and we have Dreadful 83 coming in. Dreadful 83 dropping another 5 membership gifts for you guys. I need some W's in the chat, and I think I may have missed what Hellbound said he wanted for his. He said you want me to choose. All right, Hellbound, I'll give you this one because I know you do it for Boss. And Dreadful 83, bro, thank you so much for that. We're at 18 members now, so we're very close. I mean, I think Sony's going to have to go. I think Sony's going to have to wait a little bit longer, potentially, to bring out the PlayStation 6. I think this is one of the reasons why Microsoft doesn't care to kind of rush out another generation of console. I think they don't care that much because they're just like, dude, we need to. Like, we're not selling consoles now. It doesn't really matter what we do. Like, we're only going downhill. So let's just give it our best shot. Let's just get it out there as quickly as possible. You'll start doing members if this week I can get a soundbite. Chris, it depends. What soundbite do you want? It definitely depends. And thank you for that, Josh. I'll read that in just a moment. Do I have any Twisted Metal sound bites? I do not have any Twisted Metal sound bites, unfortunately. Dreadful, I could give you this one. I could give you Mark Cerny.
Is that what you think?
That's not Mark Cerny.
That's exactly. It doesn't matter what you think.
I'm sorry, that wasn't Mark Cerny. Oh my god, I keep forgetting that I put that one there. Dreadful, I'm sorry. That's the best I could do for you. That's the best I could do for him. I apologize. And Whiskey Gaming drops another 5 memberships for you guys. You guys are going crazy with the 5 bombs, a full-blown member train. And Dreadful, that was not directed towards you, bro. 23 members. We are 2 away from hitting the first goal of the day, which is amazing to see. Thank you guys so much for your support, really. The Rock is Mark Cerny now. I mean, that may as well be Mark Cerny, right? Let me give you this Mark Cerny soundbite. Cue The Rock screaming. Dai-chan says PS7 will come out and Call of Duty will be on PS5. Not joking. That's what's crazy, dude. One of the things that I just saw is that this year's Call of Duty 2025, is still going to come out on PS4. Bro, that will be 5 years into the generation, and we're still getting like these cross-gen games. The final boss. That's kind of nuts when you think about it, though. That is kind of nuts. Like 5 years into the generation. And yeah, I think it will be even more significant. Like once the next generation of consoles comes out. I think the PS5, I think we're going to be getting PS5 games like 6 years into the PS6. Yeah, MacTube. Same here. That's a good one. Call of Duty's going to phones and Switch. It will always be on the PS4. Well, hold on. The rumor that actually talks about the next generation Xbox dev kits, the rumor that talks about that actually claims that, well, they know this because Modern Warfare 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is in development right now at Infinity Ward. And that game is apparently going to be the first Call of Duty to leave behind the PS4 and the Xbox One. And it is currently being developed on a next generation Xbox dev kit. So it seems like we kind of got to wait for the next generation, I guess, for some of these games to move on. I'm assuming that's like what we have to do at this point. And Hellbound 1981 dropping a single gift for you guys. He's trying to lay it up. Hellbound brings us to 24. One more does it. Dude, boss is just waiting there like a statue. Hellbound does it himself. He does it himself. He beats Whiskey Gaming to it. Whiskey Gaming also drops a single membership gift. Thank you so much, guys. It is time.
Boss, do you read me? It's time to feed the beast.
He's eating good today. Michael's on a little bit of a delay. Michael comes in and drops another single gift. But he's just a little bit behind. Unless he just did it for the sake of doing it. Either way, I appreciate it, bro. That brings us to 27 members on the day. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let me update the goal. And we will continue our conversation. Okay, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 gameplay. If we hit 50 members, all right? If we hit 50 members today in the members lounge after this stream, we will do some Tony Hawk's. Why? Whoa, what is going on there? That's not right. I'm just going to put Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That's fine. Yeah, boss, thanks you guys. Boss is very happy now. He always looks forward to the streams because he's always like, please give me more treats. Gord, you're saying boss is a goober. P.S. Any word from Hassan Karaman? No. No, I've not heard from Hassan Karaman. Have you guys heard anything? All right, let me catch up with these chats. We got Dreadful83, member for 18 months. He says, at this point, when the PS6 comes out, I'll just buy a PS5 Pro if there's no... You said Jurassic, but I know... Drastic change. Well, when it comes to the PlayStation 6, dude, I mean, we talk about things like AI and what that could maybe do for games. We always see people kind of talking about hitting the upper limit of graphical fidelity, but there's still more to be extracted. I do think we are reaching that upper ceiling, like we are getting to that point of diminishing returns, but there's definitely more to extract out of like graphical fidelity and what we can see in games. Jolly Rancher Bot with a $5 chat says, super random question, is today your birthday? I vaguely remember us having the same birthday, but I might be crazy. No, today is not my birthday. My birthday is in September. So little bit off on that one, Jolly Rancher Bot. By the way, I like your name. I have a bowl of Jolly Ranchers in front of me. I love Jolly Ranchers. All right, let me... Oh, what happened to the member goal? Why is it blank? Just give me one moment to fix this. I don't know why it looks like that. Is it fixed? There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, this is where we're getting... Listen, this is where we're getting this information. Apparently, Modern Warfare 4 is in development behind the scenes at Activision. That's not surprising, right? Of course, they're developing a Modern Warfare 4, but this comes from Ghost of Hope, I think is what his name is. And he's like an Activision / Call of Duty insider. And last year, he said that Microsoft is targeting a 2026 release for their next generation Xbox. He said that That's what he's like, trust me on this one, bro. We're like, all right, I guess it could be true. But now we're getting more information from him where he's confirming that MW4 is in development, but it is currently being developed on next-gen Xbox dev kits right now. So he says, and I believe this is word for word, he said he's going to die on the hill that the next generation Xbox is coming out in 2026. And yeah, man, if what he's claiming is true, if it's true that Modern Warfare 4 is currently being developed on next-gen Xbox hardware on dev kits, then yeah, Microsoft is absolutely targeting a 2026 release for this hardware because, again, in order for those dev kits to be in the hands of Infinity Ward, it means that Microsoft has already went through the process of locking down the hardware, locking down the specs, knowing exactly what this console is going to be. It feels like it's a little bit too soon. I'm going to be honest, even for like dev kits to be out there, unless maybe they're not finalized, but I don't think that would make any sense. I don't think that they would do that. So really, really interesting situation with the Xbox. And so this kind of leaves the question like, well, what's Sony going to do? Is Sony going to rush out the PlayStation 6 to match the launch of the next generation Xbox in 2026? No, they're not going to do that. They don't need to do that. Are they going to release it in 2027? Or is it possible that Sony's just going to try to let this generation last as long as it can? And I actually want to put out a poll and ask you guys to answer this question because I'm curious what you think. When should Sony release the PS6? We'll do 2026, 2027, 2028, or maybe even 2029 or later. All right, I'm putting a poll out there. Whiskey Gaming. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, for some reason that glitched out. Wait. Hold on. Something doesn't seem right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm sorry. Just ignore me. George A with the super chat says, next Xbox will flop harder than Wii U or Dreamcast. I think so. Yeah. I think so. That's why I said in my title, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it matters that there's going to be a next generation Xbox. I don't think it matters that it's going to come out in 2026. I just don't think there's anything Microsoft can do. You know, they're going to come out and like, here's Gears of War E-Day. And that's great. And I'm sure it'll look amazing on this next generation Xbox or whatever, but it's like, it's going to be day one on PS5 as well. So, you know, I think the next generation Xbox will sell a certain amount of units, but I think it's going to be extremely niche. And I just don't think Sony's going to care, dude. It's kind of weird because you would think that anything Microsoft is doing, like, oh, they already got their dev kits out. They're going to be releasing this console in 2026. They're trying to get a jump start. You would think that Sony would be like, shit. But I don't think Sony sees it that way at all. And why would they? I mean, look at what's happening with the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S sales-wise. Like, I mean, they're totally tanked. Completely tanked. So from that point forward, it's like, well, it seems clear to me that this next generation Xbox is coming out so soon because it needs to. It has nothing to do with trying to get a head start, a jump start. It's not Microsoft trying to be like, we're going to get out ahead of the PS6 and this is going to be like the Xbox 360 all over again. At this point, it seems clear to me that it's like, no, they're not selling Xboxes anymore. Like, it's getting dire. It is dire. It's been dire on the Xbox side of things, sales-wise. So I think for them, it's just more along the lines of, we need to get this out like ASAP. Like, we need to just try to get some sales, right? We need to get people hyped about the next Xbox right now. The Genius 200X says, my guess is it's a handheld. I doubt it's a new system. Well, Microsoft did confirm that they're doing a handheld. I think it's going to be both. I think they're going to have a dedicated console, and I think they're also going to have a handheld, like a premium Xbox handheld that if it's its own thing, you know. And when they announce it, they're gonna be like, you can buy either the Xbox handheld or the Xbox home console. I do think maybe the Xbox handheld, believe it or not, I think that may have maybe a little bit more potential than even the home console does, because it's different. Yeah, I think they'll. I don't know if they'll announce it at the exact same time or release it at the same time, but Microsoft did confirm they're making an Xbox handheld. But I would imagine they're probably trying to. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Let me bring that up. Usually on top of that. Josh, with a couple of direct donations, says Daredevil hits the streets of Hell's Kitchen once again. MBG, I've been waiting a long time for this one. Have you seen Skillup's review of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Definitely a strong Game of the Year contender. This is what Bethesda should have evolved to if Microsoft didn't destroy them. Or did Bethesda destroy themselves? Did Bethesda destroy themselves and Microsoft couldn't save them? Yeah, a lot of people hyped for the new Daredevil show. Not sure if I'm going to be checking it out or not. I've kind of fallen out of Marvel recently, but there is definitely significant hype for it. As for SkillUp's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 review, I did not watch it. I saw it pop up in my feed a couple times, but I could tell by the title that it got a really good review, and I'm not surprised. Everything I've been hearing about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has just been positive. I haven't heard really anything negative about this game, and I've seen at least a couple people so far say that it's now like their game of the year or in the running for their game of the year. So, but yeah, man, the comparisons, I've seen that as well. I've been seeing people talking about how Avowed basically flopped and just is not a very good game. Like, it's an okay game, but not living up to the standard that people have for Obsidian. Certainly not, it's not the type of RPG experience that people were hoping for. This is from what I gather from the way people are talking about it. And yeah, people are kind of looking at titles like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, even though they're not necessarily completely comparable to one another. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is something very different. It's much more grounded, realistic, not fantasy, but still, people kind of do get that sense like it was somewhat inspired by Bethesda's RPGs. What button do I have to press exactly to opt in for gifts or for gift subs? I can't find it. The next time you see somebody drop a member gift, click their icon at the top of the chat, and it should ask you if you want to opt in. If it doesn't give you the option, it might be because you have a branded YouTube channel. But the next time somebody drops a member gift, make sure you click that icon at the top, and it should let you. Yeah, people like the Outer Worlds, and I've seen people kind of comparing that to Avowed and being like, yeah, no, Avowed's not doing it. It's Beast Mode. A member for 3 months says, MBG, I just want to thank you for your content, bro. I look forward to your streams. Prayers for my only son. He's 3 years old and has to get surgery. I'm panicking. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's Beast Mode. We'll definitely be sending some prayers to your son, man. Yeah, I hope that I hope it all works out, man. That's a tough one. But I'm glad you appreciate the content. You know, hopefully it can serve as a bit of a distraction. I know what that's like. You know, you just got to sit around. Something completely out of your control can be very anxiety. So if anything, if the streams can just serve as a bit of a distraction, I'm at least glad it could do that. Oh, you're saying you're super delayed. Yeah, it's that's the nature. I'm trying to get these streams to work in 4K. And it seems to be going okay. But sometimes it does seem like it causes a bit of a delay. But yeah, man, prayers to your son, absolutely. See a lot of you guys dropping some prayers in the chat. You want me to distract you guys with some soothing ASMR voices? Got to save that for the members content, bro. Looks crispy. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. I was having some issues uploading it with the streams uploading afterwards in 4K, but I think I fixed it. Let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the conversation about the next generation Xbox, this is why it's so strange, in my opinion, to see. I understand there's nothing that can be done about it, but I guess the question I'm trying to really ask right now is, do people, like, are there people who really believe that the next generation Xbox is going to be successful? Like, it's going to be something that actually has any type of impact on the market? Because the way I see people talk about Xbox and the way that I see people kind of, defend it somewhat, I don't know, man. I just think it's like there are too many people that I think are just too quick to move on. Too quick to move on and basically accept that the console is not the priority anymore for Microsoft. But at the same time, I have this feeling that Microsoft is going to come out and try to hype people up about this console. Is it going to work? I don't think so. I just don't think so. I mean, somebody said earlier, they were like, I think this next Xbox is going to sell worse than the Wii U or the Dreamcast or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. If it's cheap and powerful, I think it's going to be the opposite, dude. I think it's going to be the opposite. I don't think Microsoft's going the Xbox Series S route again. I think what they're going to do is they're going to come out and be like, it's an expensive but powerful console. And it's just going to be for people who want it, and we're going to make a profit off of every unit sold. That's my guess. We do have a potentially interesting situation arising, though, right? We have a situation where if this rumor is true and there is currently, a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 being developed on the next generation of Xbox on a dev kit, we kind of have to ask ourselves, like, what's that going to mean when it comes out? Because there's going to be a Modern Warfare 4 on the PS5 Pro. PS5 Pro versus next gen Xbox. And we have Matt Fu coming in, dropping another 5-bomb on you guys. Matt Fu out of nowhere with his little Astrobot profile picture. Matt, thank you for that, bro. I really appreciate it. That brings us up to 32 members. So we are making our way to the second goal. Can we do it? Still waiting for that Tony Hawk announcement, by the way. That's apparently happening today. Everything leaked out. Phil Spencer's going to be the secret playable character in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Did you guys see that? Can't believe it. You know how in the previous games they would have like characters like Shrek and Darth Maul? It's going to be Phil Spencer. The Xbox Series S was a mistake. A lot of developers hate it. No, you can't say that, George. Can't say that. Remember? We're not allowed to talk badly about the Series S. I understand why some people like the Series S, but I don't know, dude. I think you're going to see, at least what I'm suspecting what we will see, is you're going to see the next generation Xbox come out. There's not going to be a Series S version. There's not going to be a lower end SKU. And that's going to confirm that, yeah, why do you think they didn't do it again? But yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation, dude. Was my re-up added on there, MBG? Want to be sure we get close to that. It actually was, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was its beast mode because at one point it was sitting at 7, at least on the member counter. And when I checked, it was actually at 8. So I'm pretty sure that was your re-up that counted. So what you're seeing, the 32, should be an accurate reflection. would be a major L if they drop another low-powered version. According to MBG's comments, we're not allowed to... Hold on. Oh my god, why is it crapping out on me? Hold on. Stream crashed again. Why does it keep doing that? It's so annoying. According to MBG's comments, we're not allowed to talk shit on Xbox at all. No, you can talk shit on Xbox, dude. It's just got to be fair. Like, it's got to be... If you're going to talk shit on Xbox, you just got to make sure it's got something behind it. That's all. Because I would expect the same thing. If somebody's going to talk shit on PlayStation, there's got to be something behind it. You can't just, like, you just got to follow it up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to tell you that Xbox is trash. And, well, why is it trash? And if you ever, that's all I'm saying. You just got to follow it up. We could keep it simple. I could make it simpler. But just trying to keep it fair. Steam in the next Xbox. A lot of people think this is what's happening, but as of right now, we don't have any confirmation of that. I think a lot of people are hoping that that's what happens. MBG, just curious, what games have you noticed look the best since you got a PS5 Pro? I just got mine, but didn't set it up yet. Well, I don't know if it's a game if you played it already or if it's your type of game, but one of the best looking games on the PS5 Pro, hands down, is Demon's Souls. Like, that game looks absolutely insane on the Pro. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is an obvious one. That one looked good, but I was more impressed with Demon's Souls. I'm trying to think. I remember I tested a bunch of games. God of War Ragnarok. Well, that game was a little bit harder to notice the difference, but you could see it. I think it was running at a higher frame rate. I did just recently play Resident Evil 4 on the Pro and was kind of surprised. I'm like, this is looking pretty good, dude. Like, this is looking better than I expected. But if you want to, like, see a game that, I mean, really looks kind of nuts, I think Demon's Souls. I think Demon's Souls is still the best looking game this gen. Honestly. Yeah, haven't seen Monster. I mean, I've seen Monster Hunter Wilds running on the Pro in like a, in like a Digital Foundry video. Stellar Blade. I didn't try out Stellar Blade myself, but I heard Stellar Blade's really good. I heard that's a really good PS5 Pro upgrade. And what makes PlayStation so much better? Please tell me, because I can't find a reason. I own all three consoles, and Xbox gives me the most. I mean, in my opinion, what makes PlayStation better is just when Sony's... The type of games that Sony releases, I just think overall have a higher quality. I mean, I firmly believe that, and I still think that's true. I think that it's not to say that the games Xbox releases are bad or like all their games are bad. Certainly not, because Sony has some bad games occasionally too. I mean, I don't need to remind you of Concord, but for me, the thing I like better about PlayStation is they just seem more focused. Generally speaking, they seem like they have a good thing going where they have their platform, they have their console and all their hardware, and they kind of cater to that. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that I appreciate the most about Sony compared to Microsoft is that Sony seems to actually care about, like, their hardware ecosystem. They seem to actually care about it to a degree where it's like, yeah, we are going to make a PS5 Pro. And that's what's comical to me, is that, like, people try so badly to tear down the Pro, but it's like, I don't think you understand that, like, there are people who want that. Like, there are people who want a Pro console from Sony, and they would gladly take that over, like, a lower end console, like something like the Series S. And there are people who do like these big budget, AAA single player games that, even though they don't come out that often, it's like, I mean, again, I know Microsoft has some good games lined up, but I just don't think you're going to get something like Ghost of Yotei from Microsoft. You're not going to get something like Death Stranding 2 from Microsoft. And I know people are like, oh, Death Stranding 2 is a second party game. It's like, come on, dude. It's like people are looking at that. That's obviously PlayStation Studios all over that. You know, like again, I didn't even mention the fact that Xbox games are coming to PlayStation. No way Demon Souls can look better than Hellblade 2 or Callisto Pro. Actually, I forgot Callisto Protocol. Yeah, that one actually probably looks insane on the Pro. I didn't get to test it out myself, but I forgot that one is sitting at 8K. Hellblade 2 is one of the best looking games that has come out this generation. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that. I don't know. I think Demon Souls could give it a run for its money though, dude. I'm serious. Demon Souls is an incredible looking game. But Hellblade's really, really good looking too. That's actually an interesting. I don't think there's ever been a comparison done between those two. You think if you own a Switch and a PlayStation, you don't need anything else? I mean, I feel like that's where just there's kind of the optional PC side of it. Do you want PC or do you want a PlayStation console? I think it's fine. Like, again, I think it's fine people who prefer the Xbox experience, but I don't know, man. If I was on the Xbox, there was a time where I was on the Xbox side of things, and like, I just feel like you look at PlayStation, and I feel like PlayStation is giving their players like pretty much everything that I think at some point maybe Xbox fans would have kind of come to the conclusion that, well, we would, that's what we would want, you know? Not completely, but I've taught, that's why I bring up the Pro. Like the goalpost moving from Xbox fans this generation has been truly a sight to behold. Like it really has, where it's like, yeah, we're hyped about the power factor of the Series X. Oh, we just found out we're not getting a mid-gen console. We're not getting a Pro version of the Series X. We're just getting a Series S instead. That's great. Good job. That's the smart way to do it, Microsoft. That's the better way to do it. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, you guys were the ones who wanted the most power. That's all that mattered to you, was having the most powerful console for years. Now it just doesn't matter. I mean, it's stuff like that. It's stuff like, oh, well, yeah, I guess you guys like our games now, right? You like our games now that they're releasing on PlayStation, but hey, we still got Game Pass. It's like, yeah, that doesn't change the fact that we're still getting Sony's games and your games. Like, that's great that if you feel like you're getting a good deal on Game Pass, but it doesn't change that fact. And it's just like, well, the exclusives don't matter. They never did. It's like, oh, okay. They don't matter now. And it's just, I'm saying the goalpost moving it's been absurd. It's been absurd. It's been egregious. And it's been, like I said, a sight to behold, man. We have a direct dono from PlayStation is King. That's a white hair. I thought that was like a fuzz or something. It's just a white hair. That's great. MBG, since Steam and Xbox are together, it still would not match PlayStation players. And second, they are not recognizing the past 10 years. You Xbox, we bring trophies. I don't understand the second part of what you said there, but I mean, dude, I don't know what the conversations are like on the internet right now when it comes to Microsoft and their next generation Xbox and Steam, but Steam is not going to save Xbox. It could potentially help Xbox. Like they could announce that Steam's going to be available on the Xbox console, but I don't think that's just going to. The only thing that's going to do is make people look at the Xbox and be like, oh, it's just a PC now. Yeah, pretty much. It's a PC with an Xbox logo on it. Like that's how people are going to view it. And maybe that's what Microsoft wants. And I think that would help, but it's not, there's nothing that can save Xbox. Unfortunately, in terms of hardware, like hardware sales and hardware market share, there's nothing that can save them. The Steam console, I think the Steam console, if that turns out to be real, like I said before, I think it will find an audience, but I don't think it's going to be an audience of tens of millions. I think the Steam console will probably garner like 10 million sales, 15 million sales, something like that. But I don't think you're going to see console sales get to 30, 40, or 50 million. I don't think that's going to happen. Because most Steam players are on PC and they're happy there. But it depends on the pricing as well, you know? The trade war is going to make things worse for all console sellers. I mean, that's the wrench that might be thrown into everything. I mean, that might really mess everything up, you know? We were kind of joking the other day that Sony might end up waiting till like 2029 for the PlayStation 6. And like, yeah, dude, they might have no choice. It does seem like if there is going to be some kind of major trade war, which that does seem to be what's brewing, it's going to have an impact. How big of an impact remains to be seen, but it will have an impact on the pricing of this hardware. No doubt about that. The handheld only sold 4 million. How would a console sell more? Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm probably overestimating how well a Steam console would do. I'm probably overestimating it. If Sony came out and said the next generation console will be the best technology leap, everyone would be hyped. I mean, yeah, there would be a certain amount of hype. I don't know how, it depends on, I don't know though. Like, I think people would be asking like, well, what does that look like though? Like what exactly do you mean by that? That could mean anything. That could mean anything. Feels like this generation has barely started. That's one of the reasons why I think Sony could make the decision like, dude, delay next gen. Delay it a bit. I don't think people would be that upset about it. I think a lot of people would actually be like, okay, yeah. You know, let the Pro become more useful over time in the eyes of people who are maybe at first thought it was kind of pointless, and you know, let people who bought the PS5 and feel like the gen is barely started, let them get more out of it. And the benefit you have by extending the generation and kind of delaying next gen, the benefit you have there is by the time we do get to like, say something like 2029, and that's when the PS6 comes out, it's going to be a huge leap at that point, a pretty significant leap. Yeah. Angry Whale Watcher, a member for 18 months, says, do you think Microsoft drops X and S support when they launch the next system? Expand the fam or disband the band? What are you saying, BG? Will Microsoft drop Series X and S support when they launch the next system? No, I don't think that they will drop support. I think that they're going to continue to support it. I think third-party devs might drop support, though, real fast. I do think that will happen. I think that when you think about a next generation Xbox, and then you also think by that point we might be hearing more about the PlayStation 6. I don't know, man. How long are devs going to support the Series S? I think that's the real thing. I think the Series X is fine, and I could see developers wanting to support the Series X for a long time. But the Series S, I don't think that's something developers really want to stay tethered to for that much longer. Akiuchi says PS6 can easily be a generational leap from the PS5 Pro, just like the PS5 is a generational leap from the PS4 Pro. Look at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart graphics, The Matrix. No, I do agree with that. I do agree that they can present to you what will look like a next generation leap, but I feel like in practice, like, you know what I mean? In practice with most games, this is where I kind of disagree with people a little bit, or maybe sometimes a lot, where I do see people kind of talk about like, oh, I could just play these games on my PS4. It's like, yeah, you're playing much worse versions, essentially, you know, which is fine. Like, if you're okay with it, that's fine. But it feels like sometimes like I've been gaslit by people where it's like, no, the benefits you got on your PS5 this generation were actually completely pointless. Like, no, they weren't. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but no, they weren't, dude. Like, I'm getting games at much higher fidelity at 60 frames, some with ray tracing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, literally none of that is available on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro. Maybe slightly higher resolution on the PS4 Pro, but that's about it. That's what's weird to me, is like people have like tried to make it seem like you haven't gotten anything. Which game do I think will have better graphics, Death Stranding 2 or GTA 6? Ooh. I mean, I'm probably going to lean more towards GTA 6, but I think GTA 6 is going to be a bigger game overall. So I could maybe see Kojima getting the graphical edge because it's not as, maybe there's like more resources left over to kind of like max that out. Whereas I think with GTA, I don't know, but GTA 6 could end up being maybe the best looking game ever. I don't know. It's a tough one because Kojima's been known to have really cutting edge graphics as well. There have been comments saying the PS4 games had no leap from PlayStation 3 back then, LOL. And that was a lie. I believe it. Yeah, I believe that. The casual doesn't pixel count. You're right, the casual doesn't pixel count, but I think the casual gamer still, if you present it in front of them, and that's maybe the hard part is like showing them, but if you present a game like Horizon Forbidden West running on a PS5 versus it running on a PS4 or PS4 Pro, I think the casual's immediately going to see that, like, oh yeah, not only does that version look better, but hold on one sec. Almost just tripped over my chair. Jeez. Was Tony Hawk Pro Skater just announced? I've been waiting for this. Hold on. I've been waiting for this. Yes. Yes, it was announced. And the Days Gone Remaster PC version? I guess. Am I reading this correctly? I don't know. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 launches July 11th on PS5 and PS4. Skate new and classic content in the next gen remake. Returning to the console where it all began. The Birdman returns in the next gen remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. The legendary skateboarding series first launched on PlayStation in 1999. It's back better than ever. Skate, the original content, rebuilt from the ground up, joined by new skaters, parks, tricks, music, and more, including enhanced creation tools and New Game Plus. Prepare to shred. Skate through 2 challenge-filled tours and career, chase high scores in single sessions and speed runs, or take your time nailing tricks and exploring each park and free skate. Bring your skate friends along too. Cross-platform online multiplayer supports up to 8 skaters at a time. Go head-to-head in competitive game modes or skate every surface together in multiplayer free skate. Whichever mode you play, the game's smooth handling and simple to learn controls will have you grinding and landing tricks in no time. Classic new parks, New Game Plus. Skate the original parks from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remade in 4K resolution and given streamlined goals in the 2-minute format, along with some new parks to expand your skating options. Tackle dozens of challenges to earn in-game cash and unlock new gear, including new skate decks, grip tape, wheels for your board, and extra apparel for your skater. There will be a New Game Plus, retaining your skater stats and growth achieved in the first playthrough as you work towards true mastery. Let's see. New skaters, new songs, in-depth customization, pick your skater's name, hometown, skating style. What do they say about music? So they're saying they will have songs from the original soundtrack, but it will be expanded with new music. I'm not gonna lie, man. These graphics look kind of rough. I'm like, who's developing this? You're gonna get Doomslayer as an extra skater. It's gonna be a collector's edition. Well, it doesn't say who's developing it though. You plays Doom guy. Like I don't know. I'm looking at the screenshots and I'm like, are they showing me like the Switch version or something? Like it's not that bad. Maybe I don't know. It's now it's just got me nervous. Like who's developing it? If it's not Vicarious Visions, oh, don't tell me that. Iron Galaxy. What? What do you get? Oh, dude. Iron Galaxy? What? It'll look better on the Pro, right? I don't know, man. Who's making this game? Look, I'm just saying, like, I'm noticing it looks. Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like it doesn't look as good as the 1 and 2 remakes. Maybe they just used bad screenshots. I don't know. Maybe I'm being hypercritical. I mean, yeah, compared to the original, it's obviously a huge difference. I mean, yeah, I thought Vicarious Vision, I don't think they were shut down, but they were like folded into Blizzard or something. We're going to get the PS5 Pro version, best version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. It is Iron Galaxy. Oh, fuck. So much. My hype. I'm not saying my hype is completely gone, but I'm nervous now, dude. Iron Galaxy doesn't have a very good track record. And oh, yeah, I don't know, bro. Like Vicarious Visions did the remakes for 1 and 2 and they like nailed it, bro. Like they nailed it. And now you just have a different developer working on 3 and 4 and I'm like, Microsoft ruins another game. God damn it. I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous now, dude. Cuz I'm looking at these screenshots and I'm like, this does not look. I'm looking at this screenshot right now. The main screenshot. I should probably bring it up for you guys. Hold on. Let me just react to the trailer. They released the trailer, right? Let me bring it up. Cuz I know I'm not crazy. I'm like this something about this doesn't look quite right. Although, you know what? Maybe the trailer is capped at 1080p for some reason. Why? Well, that doesn't even make sense. Why do you have the trailer capped at 1080p when you're bragging about it being a 4K remake? Something's not right. I was afraid of this. I'll still probably play it because I mean it's a remake. Like how much could you really mess it up? But I guess what I'm ultimately afraid of is that the remakes for 3 and 4 are ultimately not going to turn out to be not as good as 1 and 2. The video looks fine. All right, let me check it out. Let me bring it up. We'll react to it together. Hold on, I'm bringing it up now. I'm gonna keep the sound off though, just because they're probably playing some kind of licensed music. Let's see. Well, I mean, yeah, it looks better than the originals. Not actual gameplay. All right. That Chad Muska. Well, hold on, let me. I mean, yeah, I guess it looks pretty good. Oops. I love how just nonsensical and ridiculous the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games are with their tricks. I do not like these camera angles very much. Oh, there we go. Now we can see a bigger difference. The original. All right, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Oh, that one's even better. Maybe they just picked really terrible screenshots. Oh, that one was really good. Hold on. Okay. They call that Christ Air. You know what's weird is I remember playing a ton of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, not so much of 3 though for some reason. I know I played both, but I remember 4 much more than 3. Yep, there it is, Iron Galaxy. My God, they like flash it so quickly you can't even. So Iron Galaxy did develop it, and then Doomslayer Skater, some Doom. Oh, that's pretty sick. Doom skate decks, bonus in-game music. So it's like Doomified. Foundry early access. Received the game 3 days early, July 8th. I guess we get the digital deluxe. You also get access to the Foundry demo, 2 playable skaters, 2 playable parks. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be picking it up. I'm still just a little nervous about Iron Galaxy, like, because it's just Vicarious Visions did such a good job. They, like, is Iron Galaxy going to do as good of a job? I don't know. But it's playing on my nostalgia, so what can I say? I'll still probably buy it. All right, let me get out of here. I guess that rumor about it being shadow dropped was wrong. Nice cross promotion. Iron Trash. Yeah, that is good cross promotion that they're doing there. Some Doom with Tony Hawk. It wasn't Doom or wasn't it wasn't Doomslayer in previous Tony Hawk's. Whiskey Gaming, you got to head out, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out, bro. And thank you for the membership gifts. Iron Galaxy was the support team, and they did the PC port. You're sure it'll be fine? I hope so. I hope it's good. I'm not rooting against it. I want it to be amazing. It's just that the remakes for 1 and 2 were so good. I mean, they were so good, you know. It's like I hope that they can do these games justice as well, because Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 were just as good, if not better in some ways than the original 2. So I just hope that they can do as good of a job as Vicarious Visions. It's just such a shame, you know what I mean? It's a shame that Vicarious Visions, they did the original remakes and they did so good. I think the game sold really well, and it's just like, yeah, sorry, you guys are gonna go work on Call of Duty or whatever now, you know. And it's weird. I do wonder if this is a Microsoft thing in a good way. We're like, we heard a couple of years ago that this actually got canceled. That's what we heard, right? That there were plans to remake 3 and 4 and it got canceled. And I wonder if like Microsoft was like, no, we want to get this out the door. We want to release it. And maybe Iron Galaxy was the only one that could really do it and make that a reality. Iron Galaxy is doing The Last of Us Part 2 PC port, which isn't very reassuring. I think they did the port, or they helped Naughty Dog with the PC port of the first game, which was kind of a disaster. Oh, by the way, did you guys happen to catch, is that coming to PS4? No, they did say PS4. PS4 and PS5, so it is releasing on last gen. Yeah, it said that in the blog post. Damn. Well, sheesh. All right. Gaming companies really need to stop making games for PS4 and Xbox One. Well, it seems like we're not really going to be moving on for at least like another year. I don't know, dude. Like, are we going to be getting PS4 games in 2026? I think so. You think mod support will make it great? It's coming to Switch as well. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know, man. I'm looking at, it's just weird because like I was looking at the screenshot and literally Tony Hawk's character model looks worse in this remake than the previous remake. That's what stuck out to me, is they had this big picture of Tony Hawk's character model, and it just was weird because I was like, I don't know, dude. Like his character model looked better and like higher fidelity in the first and second remake. And it's stuff like that that makes me nervous, where it's like you're just not going to get maybe the same level of quality in terms of how well it's going to be remade. I'm not trying to be nitpicky or anything. It's just, you know, my assumption is that these should be better. You know, they should be better in every way. But the next Xbox is a sleeper. You'll buy the Switch 2, though. The Switch 2 will help keep PS4 versions alive. Yep. I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to support it because I can't pass it up. You know what I mean? Like, I love the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. They're classics. And I remember spending so much time with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. So much time. They should have got Beanox to do it. They're like a Call of Duty team now, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, is she back again? You'll play Xbox games on Switch too? GTA 6 is going to help sell a lot of PS5 since they won't have any choice but to. I can't wait to see what happens with GTA 6 and PS5, dude. I'm just so curious. Like, I'm very bullish on GTA 6 in that I believe that GTA 6 is going to skyrocket PlayStation 5 sales. I really do. Like, I think it's going to help Xbox sales as well, to be clear. But I think PS5 is going to be the main console that people choose to play that game on. I think that there are going to be so many people who are still lingering on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, or just maybe kind of stop playing games for a while. And they're going to see GTA 6 and they're going to realize like you can either get it, on PS5 or Xbox. And I think, yeah, I'm thinking that too, man. You're saying sales explosion, record breaking. Yeah, I don't know how Sony views it. And I'm sure if knowing Sony, they probably have a conservative outlook. I don't think Sony is banking on GTA 6. I think that they're like, yeah, it's going to help us a lot. It's going to really help us a lot. But I don't think Sony is looking at it as like it's going to make us break records, but it could. Like it actually could, dude. No joke. We rely on GTA 6. Well, I mean, I don't know that it's so much relying on it as much as it's just, I think, like I said, man, GTA 6, the most fascinating thing about it is everybody's always kind of asking the question, like, when are we moving on? What the hell was in my mouth? Boss, you got a massive boss hair in my mouth. Bro, you're too hairy. Go finish your treats. You didn't finish them. I think, everybody's like wondering, like, when is this generation going to feel like next gen? Like, when is it really going to feel like we arrived? And when are we going to move forward and progress? And in my opinion, it's like GTA 6 is what does it, dude. GTA 6 is going to be I'm telling you, it's going to move the entire industry forward on its own. That's why I think GTA 6 is such a big deal, because we talk about dev kits being out for the next generation Xbox. I mean, yeah, that could be a big deal for GTA 6, and that would be funny, right? Like, how funny would it be if it's like there is actually going to be a next gen version of GTA 6? It's currently in development on a next gen Xbox dev kit. GTA 6 gets delayed to late 2026. Suddenly the PS5 Pro version isn't the best version anymore. Yeah, that would definitely help Xbox. I don't think it would make that big of a difference at the end of the day. It would help a lot, though. But, certain things have to happen to make that a reality. But regardless of whether or not GTA 6 gets delayed, regardless of whether or not it's currently in development for the next generation Xbox, whose dev kits are apparently already out there in the wild, what I do know is that GTA 6 is going to push the industry forward, dude, in like a big way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't see it happening any other way. I don't see it happening any other way. Sony will push the Pro for GTA 6. Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you figure the PS5 is currently at 75 million units, let's say GTA 6 doesn't come out till October of this year. Don't say that. That's the next rumor that Xbox will run with. Probably. If GTA 6 is coming out in October of this year, well, geez, man. I mean, the PS5 could be, how many units would the PS5 be at by that point? Like 85 million, 90 million? 90 million is probably a bit bullish, maybe like 85, 87 million. And if GTA 6 launches in October, I mean, dude, I think that's going to shoot PS5 sales right up to 100 million in like 2 months. I'm serious, dude. You're talking about GTA 6 during a holiday period when Sony will probably put the PS5 on sale. GTA 6, to be honest, here's how bullish I am on GTA 6. You ready? I'm so bullish on GTA 6. I'm so convinced that GTA 6 is going to be like the biggest game release ever. And the PS5 is going to be like tethered to it. Like that's going to be right next to it. I think GTA 6 is going to make it so that the PS5 blows past the PS4. Book it, man. I'm telling you. Within 1 year of GTA 6 releasing, if GTA 6 releases holiday 2025, by holiday 2026, the PS5 is going to be well beyond PS4. I'm telling you, especially if there's a price cut. Oh my God, if there's a price cut, it's over. Sony's going to soar past 120 million. Maybe I'm too bullish on it. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I think GTA 6 has that power. I do. I know GTA 6 is known by Sony, but that's the point. That's the point, though, is that if anything, GTA 6 highlights the greatest strength of Sony. Sony's greatest strength, at least for me personally, I always thought Sony's greatest strength was in their first party games and the quality level that they hit and how they just make some of the best games ever. But really, in terms of the overall success of the PlayStation brand, PlayStation's where it's at because of how important Sony realizes third party is to them. You know, they truly have created a storefront and a platform where developers can find, staggering levels of success. You know, and that applies to PC and Switch as well. It's not exclusive to Sony, but it just goes to show that, yeah, dude, it's going to be a game like GTA 6 that proliferates PlayStation the most. And I'm sure Sony's happy for that, dude. Would Sony love to own GTA 6? Yeah, but come on. Who wouldn't love to own GTA 6? If you can't own it, the next best thing you can hope for is that you're in good standing. And right now, Sony is in very good standing with Take-Two Interactive and GTA 6, and it's a healthy relationship because Take-Two Interactive is looking to break records as well. So it's a good deal for both companies, man. Take-Two Interactive is going to break records, and Sony's going to help them do it. Not a bad deal, you know? I saw somebody mention something about let me see. I think it's more interesting to talk about what happens if GTA 6 fails. Thoughts? It's hard for me to entertain that, Illegal Monkey. It's hard for me to entertain that because I don't see a world where GTA 6 fails. I don't think it's possible. I think the most we could maybe look at is GTA 6 underwhelms, right? GTA 6 it's not the be all end all that we thought it would be or we expected it to be. It ends up being a much better version of GTA 5, but see that's what I mean. If that's all it ends up being, turns out GTA 6 is just a much better version of GTA 5. That's kind of the point. It's going to clean house. I can't find an angle. What would have to happen to bring GTA 6 down? Yeah, I know. You're right. Crazier things have happened. That's true. But I try to think of all the different angles of what could it be that the characters are not good or interesting, or the world isn't as impressive as people expected it to be. But I guess the worst thing that could happen, if I'm trying to do hypotheticals here, the worst thing that could happen is GTA 6 gameplay is shown off and it looks just like GTA 5. Not even a better version. It looks pretty much like GTA 5, just a different setting. That, I guess, conceivably is the worst thing that could happen. And even if that happens, it still breaks records. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how they could. I don't think they can fail. You ever hear the saying, it's too big to fail? I think that applies. New devs, check. Already self-censoring. Yeah, but stuff like that isn't going to matter. I think people just kind of don't realize that. Or maybe some people don't realize that. Dude, I'm not saying this is what I think GTA 6 is going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be censored. I don't think it's going to be woke or whatever people are saying. or some people are saying. I don't think it's going to be any of that. I think it's going to be fine. But let's just, hypothetically speaking, GTA 6 could be the most censored, tame, just like watered down game ever, or woke game ever, whatever. It's still going to break records. It like that. I don't think people understand that GTA 6 can be anything and it's going to break records. I don't think people know that. And I think people are going to know that at the end of this year. And I know I sound like I'm like fanboying for Rockstar. I'm not even a Rockstar fanboy. It's just, dude, I think people need to like realize that people have bought like 3 copies of GTA 5. Brandon, that is true, dude. I don't know why. Like, trust me on this. Like, GTA 6 is going to break records just because of the name, dude. Just because of the name. I mean, you are talking about tens of millions, over 100 million people, that are just going to buy it because it's the new GTA. It does not matter what the characters are or what the story is. Like, that doesn't matter, dude. I don't know. You guys think that customers are voting with their dollars now, but I think you still. That's true, I think, in some instances, but there are just some things where it's like, for example, people wonder like, well, why is Fortnite still so successful? Why is Call of Duty still so successful? It's because, dude, the thousands, tens of thousands, potentially millions of people that are voicing their displeasure and what they don't like about it, they're the minority. I guess what I'm trying to say is, no matter what happens with GTA 6, any problems that people find with it, they're going to be in the minority. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say. And that could be a bad thing. Like, if GTA 6 actually is a garbage game, which it's not going to be, but like, hypothetically speaking, if it's like, oh my God, it's the worst GTA ever. The story's a joke. These characters are a joke, whatever. If it turns out to be something like that, there will be groups of people making videos about it and doing video essays and rampaging and tweeting about it. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Like, it's just not. I'm telling you, man. GTA 6, you're not. Just enjoy what you see with GTA 6, because I don't think you're ever going to see anything quite like what you're going to see with GTA 6 again. I don't know, like, maybe in the distant future with GTA 7, but and keep in mind, I'm not talking about the game itself, as funny as that sounds. I'm talking about what you're about to see happen this year with trailer 2, gameplay trailers, and the release. I don't think you're going to see anything like it again, ever. I don't think so, or at least not for like decades. And I'm not even trying to hype up the game itself. I'm just saying it's going to be fascinating to see what, like, you're going to just see that, like, everything's going to stop, bro. Like, everything's going to stop for GTA 6. You're going to probably see servers crashing. And I'm not talking about GTA Online servers. I'm saying you're probably going to see like PlayStation and Xbox servers crashing because so many people are trying to download this one game and install this one game. It's going to be crazy. And if I'm wrong, I would be shocked, because I'd be like, wow, I like, if it turns out I'm completely overestimating GTA 6's potential, then I guess I have to reevaluate my entire look on the industry, because the one thing I do know about GTA 6 is it's expected to move the needle for the entire industry during a time when everything's dropping. Think about that. We're at a time when like everything's kind of contracting a little bit, and sales have peaked. The industry peaked in 2021, and GTA 6 alone is expected to move everything up. Not just Take-Two's numbers and their bottom line, not just PlayStation sales. I mean, literally, it's taking everything with it and raising it during a time when things are contracting a bit. That is something that I can't think of anything else in the industry that could make something like that happen. Maybe like Fortnite 2, you know? The Genius 200X saying, will Trevor make an appearance, though? I'm going to say probably not. I don't think so. I would watch the trailer, but I'm going to get copyrighted. I don't know why, dude. Every time I've tried to play a GTA trailer, I can show gameplay. Like if I were to put GTA 5 gameplay up, I would be fine. But every time I've tried to show a trailer, it always gets copyrighted. Only with Take-Two Interactive. I don't know why. They're the only ones that do that. But the day that trailer number 2 drops, I'll eat it. You know, I'll take the copyright. I definitely want to react to that with you guys. That's an interesting way to look at it, Illegal Monkey. Yeah, we just checked it out, MacTube, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 trailer. GTA 6 on Game Pass is crazy. The game will sell 5 to 10 million in 2 weeks. Guys, see, this is where I don't think people understand what's about to happen with dude. GTA 6 is going to sell like 20 million copies in like 3 days. That's what we're looking at. I don't like that should give you some kind, like it's probably going to do more than that in 3 days. I'll be honest, it's probably going to do more than that. Bloodborne Skater when? Bloodborne Pro Skater. I guess yeah, Nintendo can do that too at times. But it's going to be a fun time, man. You think 20 million in 3 hours? I mean, look, man, 20 million in 12 hours? 30 million in 3 days. Book it. You wouldn't be surprised if it hits 50 million in a day. All right, see that's where I feel like there's got to be some kind of line, right? 50 million in 3 days? Because I'm thinking to myself, if you own a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or an Xbox Series S, who's not going to buy GTA 6? Like I know there are actual human beings who own one of these consoles that are not going to be there day one. But I mean, how many millions of people are not going to buy GTA 6? I feel like we are actually looking at a point where it's like, no, more people are going to buy it than not. PlayStation is about to get the bulk of the sales for GTA 6 since there's no PC version. Well, I think Take-Two Interactive knows what they're doing, man. I think they want to try to get people to double dip. I think Take-Two knows that some PC players will go buy a console to play GTA 6, and then they'll go back to PC and buy it again. A lot of PC players will wait, but it could be an optimization thing. I would say that's probably more likely. GTA 6 is a big game, and they want to get it right on PC, so they're probably going to need extra time. Let's do bets. Yeah, everything's going to crash the day GTA 6 comes out, dude. Sony's going to have people working overtime. The real question is, what is Take-Two Interactive going to do when they open up the servers for GTA Online 2? Remember when GTA 5 came out and then 2 weeks later they dropped the online component and the servers were broken for like 2 weeks straight? Who's going to wait a year? I mean, there are people who are going to wait, but I don't know how they could. I'll be honest with you, man. Like I'll put it to you this way. If GTA 6 was a PC exclusive, I would absolutely be in the process of prepping my PC. Absolutely. Like no doubt about it. If GTA 6 was an Xbox exclusive, I would literally have my Xbox right now. GTA 6 is a game that I would go anywhere for. I'll be honest. You can't. Crunch Culture was canceled. Shit. Guess we're just gonna have to wait. Everyone will call off. The real life economy will plummet. GTA economy will rise. See, that's what makes me nervous. Like, how real is what you just said, though? How real is, like, dude, the economy's going to crash for a single day. Like, everything's going to stop. It's worrisome, right? It's worrisome. I'm so curious, dude. Like, that's why I don't think about it too much, because I'm like, it's going to be, I think, the craziest ride ever in gaming. I don't think we're ever going to see something quite like what's going to happen with GTA. And that's why I'm just kind of like prepared to find out it gets delayed. I still think it's gonna land this year, but I am fully prepared to find out. Oh, well, actually, it's not. Trump will officially make it GTA Day. It's a national holiday. They said it couldn't be done. That would be awesome. Yeah, imagine it. It's just a national holiday, dude. GTA Day. What happens if the PS5 sells over 100 million because of GTA 6? I mean, I think it will. Yeah, I think it's going to. No problem. I think GTA 6 ensures that no matter what happens for the rest of this generation, as long as GTA 6 doesn't get delayed to next gen and it does come out for the PS5, I think it ensures that the PS5 generation will be more successful than the PS4 generation. Because keep in mind, the PS4 didn't have a new GTA game. For as well as it was doing, it's not like in 2018 or 2019, oh yeah, here's GTA 6. I mean, imagine what PS4 sales would look like if they dropped GTA 6 last gen. The PS3 and the Xbox 360, they did get GTA 5, and it definitely, I would say it helped those consoles tremendously. I think both consoles would have ended much weaker without it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when GTA 5 came out, I don't think the hype was anywhere near what we're looking at now. Maybe I am going to be wrong at the end of the day. Maybe I am overhyping it. Maybe I am getting ahead of my skis here, but I don't know, dude. I just get this feeling that what we're seeing with GTA 6 is something that, like, it just wasn't there with GTA 5 or any previous Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't there with Red Dead 2. And I think that this is just going to be like a just kind of once in a lifetime gaming moment where I don't even know that the hype for something like GTA 7 is going to be this high. There's just something going on with this game, dude, that I've never quite seen before. You're going to be offline for at least 2 weeks. You're just going to play GTA 6 and avoid spoilers. Imagine if they delayed GTA 6 for Xbox like they did with Wukong and only released it on PlayStation. Oh, I don't think they'll do that. No, I mean it. I guess anything's possible, but no, I don't think they would do that. No GTA 6 news dropped. I just got on to talking about it again. I don't even remember why we were talking about it. I think we were talking about sales or something, like PS5 sales or console sales. You know what I'm curious to know? And this is, talk about PS5 sales. I'm actually really curious to see what GTA 6 does for Xbox sales. How much of an uptick does it give Xbox? Because, rising tide lifts all boats, and yeah, this is that situation. Angry Whale Watcher, you're saying, I don't understand the hype. We literally have one trailer with no gameplay. I think a big reason for the hype is the time, like how long it's been since we got a new GTA. And I think it's been compounded. The hype then compounds on top of that with, in between that time, we get something like Red Dead 2, and Red Dead 2 is still today doing things on last gen consoles that current gen games aren't doing. I think it's those two things combined that create this just kind of potent hype that we've never really quite seen before. GTA 5 has sold 210 million copies, so probably sold more than 100 millions on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The game has several Guinness World Records. Talk about letting everybody know you've never played Grand Theft Auto. I mean, yeah, the GTA games have always been amazing. Well, you know what's interesting? I have encountered people, in all seriousness, like I have encountered people, they play the GTA games and they're like, yeah, they're really good, but they're not, like in their eyes, it's not that good. Like it's not their favorite game. Like they're not as impressed. And I get that. Because like, it is still a specific type of game. It's an open world sandbox game, and I can understand if you're just not into those type of games per se, you might not be as impressed by it. Red Dead 2 embarrassed the rest of the industry. I mean, it's still impressive. Yeah, it's still impressive. And so right now, I don't think there's really like kind of taking the angle of like GTA 6 being disappointing. It can't be, dude. It just can't be. Like because if GTA 6 disappoints, then the industry is cooked, bro. Like I know that we talk about like From Software, talk about Naughty Dog, talk about CD Projekt Red, but I'm sorry, man. Like, again, I'm not even. I know I sound like a Rockstar fanboy, but I'm really not a Rockstar fanboy. It's just like I'm actually. I feel like I'm just kind of looking at it somewhat objectively here, where it's like I don't think there's another studio that can touch Rockstar, and I think Red Dead kind of proved that. And I think GTA 6 is going to prove it even further. Like, I feel like we're going to look at GTA 6 and it's going to be like, and it's not the only game. It's not, no. But I just feel like we're going to look at, I think GTA 6 is going to make other AAA developers want to quit. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, when we see like what's actually going on in this game, like, holy shit. Like, how are they doing this? I think it's going to make, I think it's going to inspire some developers, but I think it's going to make some AAA developers be like, why even try? Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, Monster Hunter's off to a crazy good start. 8 million sold already. They've already quit. It'll be a lot like the Baldur's Gate 3 situation. Oh, I can't wait to see. Dude, it's going to be... I'm looking forward to it. I got to be honest, I am really happy that I have a YouTube channel and like an audience and a group of gamers, to share this moment with, because like, dude, this is going to be a good time. I mean, this is going to be like, I think this is going to be the biggest event since the launch of the PS5, bro. Like I really feel that way, or the reveal of the PS5 when GTA 6 comes out, and I'm just excited to be able to experience that firsthand with like other people. It's going to be GTA 5 too. It's just going to be GTA 5 too, but even if it is though, I mean, if GTA 5 sold 210 million copies and has broken multiple records, that's what I'm saying. Like it's literally too big to fail. Med says I might be the only one here who has zero interest in GTA 6, but I'm interested to see how it does. Yeah, I mean, even if I wasn't interested in GTA 6, I would still want to like pay attention to what's going on with it. You felt that about Cyberpunk? You're saying the PlayStation channel is streaming? Illegal Monkey, a member for 6 months, says fond memories of San Andreas. Testing a new sound system, we cranked the volume and stole a Hydrojet. Sounded like we had a jet engine in the living room. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, good memories. I remember playing the crap out of GTA San Andreas on the PS2. And I had this really weird compulsion. I don't know why. I would always delete my save file and start over because I felt like I had to have the perfect GTA run. And it was never perfect. Something always went wrong. But that game brought the OCD out of me, dude. I'm not even kidding. Like it revealed something. Like something ain't quite right in my brain because I started to get like compulsive with it, where I'm like, I just felt like I had to do everything just right in a certain sequence. Maybe I was going through something at the time. I don't know, but I played the crap out of it, man. And it was so good. The soundtracks were amazing. I remember playing so much pool in that game. Good times. Good times indeed. Well, we'll enjoy GTA 6 MBG. The PC guys in chat will have to wait for a year or two. Then they'll voluntarily wait an additional 2 years for a never-coming frame rate patch. Gaming Survivor, why are you so needlessly savage? You're so needlessly savage. You're just like, how about them PC players, huh? All right. Let's I'm just checking out Twitter, seeing what nonsense I can find. Surely I'm going to find some nonsense. Bro, I can't deal with... Listen, I cannot deal with the chaos of Twitter. You ready? Literally, just in the same feed, U.S.-Canada trade war sparks electricity tariff retaliation. Right below that, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remake announcement. Like, I can't properly compartmentalize everything that's happening and that I'm being exposed to right now. It's a bit much. Oh, and right below that, Trump proposes funding cuts for schools hosting illegal protests. Like, what is this world, bro? All right. See, Mind's Eye tweeted out. All right. Let me head back over here. Illegal protests? MacTuber saying, MBG, I'm concerned GTA 6 will be a little woke considering they censored so much in the trilogy remaster and the protagonist plus Rockstar's founder left. I wouldn't worry about that, man. Like, I don't think it's going to be woke, right? I've really been trying not to use that term because it means so many different things at this point. Like, I don't think there's going to be anything in GTA 6 that will make somebody go, you know what? I think this is a bad video game now. I don't think so. Sounds like we're living in an actual GTA world. I mean, yeah, dude. Yep. It's become what was once satire has unfortunately become our reality. I think, you guys ever think about that? I feel so, like I've been thinking about that lately. I'm like, I don't want to be a doomer. But it's like, you ever sometimes you look around and you're like, you just feel you're so down. You're like, man, Things really are bad, aren't they? Nobody wants to feel that way, but you just kind of feel that when you look around. But then you think to yourself, oh, hold on, though. Didn't people feel the same way, like, in the past? Didn't our parents feel the same way in their 20s and 30s with what was going on, and their parents before them? And it's just like, is it just like a kind of thing that is, or you know what I'm saying? Do you guys understand? I don't know if I'm wording this correctly, or is it like no? Like actually, it's legitimately much worse now. Like no joke, it's actually worse. You get what I'm saying? Like it's trying to really figure out, is it our perception? Like, are we perceiving it as being worse or bad? And it really comes down to your perception of it. And this is just the way it's always been. Or is it like, no, it's actually objectively worse now, and you're feeling the effects of that? I do wonder about that. Not to get so intense all of a sudden and existential, but it just can't happen sometimes. It just can't help it sometimes, is what I mean to say. I'm with you, Pragmatic Cat. I'm going to need more of that. It's relative. Yeah. Life imitating art in the worst ways. It's relative. I want to believe it's relative, right? Some things are worse, some things are better. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. That's probably the most accurate, I would say. Like, yeah, some things are better, but there's always like a trade-off, you know what I mean? John B, you're saying it's probably worse. We're addicted to social media. So I mean, it is interesting to think, like, prior to the internet, prior to social media, like, what did people do? I mean, they went out, right? I guess they actually real life socialized. It makes me wonder if social media didn't exist at all, like how I would function differently. But yeah, I don't know. It's Illegal Monkey says the fires are over there right now, but I see them coming. Due to the invention of the internet, life is now a meme. The truth has become blurred and reality has split. Oh, goddamn. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like, I'm glad I'm not the only one that kind of, it feels nuts, dude. Like, one of the worst things I do, and I hate myself for this, but I can't stop, dude. Like, it's because it's like second nature, is I'll just in between doing stuff, right? I'll just grab my phone and I'll open Twitter and I'll just start scrolling. And like 30 to 45 seconds into scrolling, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, stop. Like, get out of here. Like, exit out, log off, like, put it down. Like, why are you doing this? Like, this is like your fifth time within an hour picking up your phone, checking Twitter, and just scrolling. And it's weird, dude, because there's like this sense of like, I'm gonna see something. I almost, you talk about like being addicted to social media. It does feel kind of like a slot machine, right? Where it's like, why would I do that? It's because every time I pick up my phone and I click on Twitter, I think you might be rewarded with something, right? Something might give you a little dopamine hit. You see something you like, but like 9 times out of 10, in the same way that slot machines work, it's something bad and something that makes me feel worse. It's messed up, dude. The way these algorithms work and the way that these social media apps are fine tuned, it's very disturbing. Like, they truly do prey on and exploit like the human condition, man. Very strange. You're playing Rise of the Ronin, surprised that it isn't cross-platform. Hey, I admit mine, Planet Schlorpian. It feels a lot like a slot machine because it was molded that way. 100% correct. Yeah, that's what it feels like, dude. Every morning you wake up, you scroll through Twitter. It's so negative and unhealthy. I need to stop. I know, right? Like, and you know what I really don't like about it? And this is the most nefarious part. And I know anybody here listening who has kind of fallen into that rabbit hole of scrolling too much, I'm sure you've tried it before. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to delete the app. I'm just gonna not use it anymore. I'm done. And then you give it like maybe like 12 hours, maybe a whole day, maybe 2 days, maybe longer. But at some point, you just start to get that kind of like, I don't even know if you can call it an itch. Maybe it is, but you start to feel kind of restless. Like, man, what am I missing out on? Like you feel like something's missing. Like something really is missing. You know, you don't. It's not like if you have caffeine and then you stop having caffeine, you have like withdrawal of like, I have a bad headache and I got, I feel like irritable and I have a headache and I'm feeling like the physical effects. It's like for me, I notice it's more like it makes me anxious. Like I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, like it makes me start to tweak a little bit, like, what am I missing, bro? What's going on? I'm like that Dave Chappelle skit, But that's when I realized, like, man, this shit is not good. It's really not good when you're feeling that way. Anyway, do we expect Rockstar to have a game for the PS6, or do they skip it and work on GTA 7 the whole time? I think there's a chance Red Dead 3 could be a PS6 game. I think there's a chance. You're saying you deleted your Twitter account over a month ago. That's a flex, but Reddit is my thing. That's the thing, right? Like, it's almost like you got to replace one bad habit with another. Although Reddit, I do think Reddit is better. Reddit is like it depends on where you go. Reddit, from what I can tell, it can be better, but it can also be worse. It really just depends on what subreddit you're in and how the community is and how moderated it is. Boredom is the worst kind of pain. I mean, yeah, boredom can be bad. Boredom can be good, though. And I mean, you could make the argument that everything that exists now, the way it does, is it's humanity's way of raging against boredom, making sure we never have to be bored again. You got the Days Gone Platinum last night? Good stuff, gravy biscuits. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. Days Gone Platinum. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to playing Days Gone Remastered, and I realized kind of an awkward situation. I didn't think about this, but it just kind of popped in my head the other day. Days Gone Remastered and early access to Forza Horizon 5 are both dropping on the same day. You kidding me? Are you serious? Like, what is that? Days Gone Remastered could release at any time. Forza Horizon 5 on PS5, if you're getting like the premium version, could release at any time. And it's just like, no, of course they have to release on the same day. Because, if you're somebody who wants to play both of those games, good luck. Every time, dude. Every single time. Have we discussed Forza? Yeah, we've talked quite a bit about Forza. You've used your phone too much when you try to zoom in on a picture in a magazine or newspaper. Who put that there? Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, that's how you've used it too much. You've been on the internet too much, bro. PlayStation saved your mind in the past. Yeah, man. Same here. I mean, that's why I got this poster of these consoles, because I know it comes off as like fanboyish for some people, but it's because no, dude, I look at the PS1 and I look at the PS2 and it's like, yeah, dude, got me through some times, Still does. Still does. Planet Slurping, I feel like that exists. You're torn on Forza. You're getting it, but the question is when. MVG, people have a choice to engage in more positive news and constructive activities, but they choose Twitter. So it's not Twitter's fault. That's true. At the end of the day, we have to hold ourselves accountable, and we are responsible for our own actions and choices. We all have a choice. No matter how difficult the choice is, it's always there. But yeah, speaking of Forza, man, one of the weirdest things I saw recently, and this is what I mean, where it's like just bizarre behavior these days, man, is, you know, Forza Horizon 5 Premium Edition is $100 on the PlayStation Store, and it's kind of like shooting up there in pre-orders. It's on, I think, the top 5 or whatever. So it's clear that a lot of PlayStation players are paying that $100 to gain access to not only all the DLC, but you also get like 4 or 5 days early access. And I've been seeing certain groups of people, vocal people online, like trying to, again, weaponize that. Like that, like, LOL, like, look at these PlayStation fans. Like, this is what you do. You buy, like, that's your only choice is to buy the game. And then that's, of course, you'll pay $100 for early access. And it's like, like, I understand what you're trying to do, but nothing you come up with is going to be greater than the fact that Forza Horizon 5 is releasing on PlayStation. You know what I mean? It's weird behavior, man. I don't understand the desperation behind trying to clown on PlayStation players when it's like, you guys lost. Like, and I guess maybe that's what makes it so easy, is it's just like there's nothing left to hold on to. There's no ground left to stand on. So it's like, you're just whatever, man. Like, just say anything and do anything. I get that, but it's just like, come on, bro. Like I like, there's no flex here. You know what I mean? Like, there's no flex. I don't think, you know, it has to be weaponized in the other direction though either. Like, I don't think you have to pick up Forza Horizon 5 on PS5 and then bash it over Xbox players' heads and be like, "We got your game, bitch." You know, like, I don't think you have to do that either. I just think it's like, I don't know, man. Microsoft, at the end of the day, I guess Microsoft is the big winner here. And actually, no, Microsoft and Sony are the big winners here. That's why I can't, when I see the clashing over this stuff, I can't, like, I feel like I'm completely disconnected from it to a degree now, because it's like, bro, the only ones winning here are Sony and Microsoft. They're both raking in money now. It's like, what is there? What are we fighting over? You know, like, that's all. That's why I just find it disturbing when I encounter people that try to, like, come at me and be like, LOL, like, imagine paying $100 for early access to a game that's been out for 4 years. It's like, oh, this game has been out on PlayStation for 4 years. No, it hasn't. Oh, okay then. You know, like, I have seen some people, and this is a more interesting conversation. Some people saying, is Microsoft charging too much? Is Microsoft charging too much? And it's like, well, I don't think so. It's $60 if you just want Forza Horizon 5, just the game. It's $60. No physical version. Like, like, Microsoft, what the hell are you doing, man? But it's $60. I think that's fine, dude. Like, yeah, this game series has never been on PlayStation before. It's been out on PC and Xbox, but it's never been on PlayStation. So in the same way that, like, I'm totally okay with Sony wanting to charge $50 or $60 for a game that's been out for years on PlayStation, but it's just now releasing on PC, I kind of view it the same way. The $100 version, I actually think, is still fine too, because people are kind of, like, leaving out the fact that, dude, you're getting all the DLC, including the Hot Wheels DLC. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you're not paying $100 for early access. And it's disingenuous to make it seem like that's what people are doing. People are paying $100 for the base game and all the DLC, and the early access is just the cherry on top. You know? It's just in there to sweeten the deal. I just think people, you know, when they have these conversations, they just kind of, like, overlook that, even though that's extremely important, vital information. Very relevant. You're saying, so you haven't been fanboying the majority of your channel's existence? Oh, no. I've never, I don't, listen, man, I don't deny the fanboy moniker. There's no point. Like, I am a PlayStation fanboy, obviously. I've been a PlayStation fanboy. That's fine. But what I have always tried to, well, it's unfortunate because, like, even just trying to acknowledge it feeds into it. But I've tried to make it clear to people that, like, dude, I've never made, I have attacked corporations and certain, and not attacked, but I've attacked corporations and I've questioned fan bases. That's what I've done. And it's okay. I mean, like, I know the nature of how these things go, but, like, I know better than anybody what I had to say about Microsoft, what I had to say about Xbox, and what I had to say about the fan base. And it all still holds true, man. You know? It all holds true where it's like I'm I'm into PlayStation today in a way thanks to Microsoft kind of screwing up. You know? Like, Microsoft, I think that they did really good during the Xbox 360 generation, and I was on board, bro. So I do understand the lunacy. It There's degrees, right? Like, it's not as black and white, and I do understand it to a degree because in my opinion, there is a difference between people having passionate but also genuine conversation about certain products, certain brands, certain things that they're just really interested in and, again, potentially passionate about. I think there is a difference between that and then the lunacy that you speak of where it's like it's you hear the term like console warring, and it's like, yeah, people get a bit, they take it further than it needs to go, where it's like, this isn't like, you get the sense that, like, this isn't just about games, is it? It's like, no, it's not. And that's when things get weird. And I'm seeing that way more now than I saw it in the past. And that's what's weirding me out. And I think it's desperation. I do. I think it's desperation. I'm noticing that more and more people are getting involved in, like, like kind of drama with other pundits, other content creators, other people with a reputation, and like, I don't understand, like, what are you guys doing? And it's like, well, duh, you know what they're doing. It's all about trying to remain as relevant as you can. It's all about, like, dude, the war is over. The console war is over. There's, Microsoft and Sony are shaking hands. They're making money for each other. They're making money off of each other, and they're all getting richer for it. And outside of that, there are gamers enjoying those games, and in between, you kind of have people who are desperate to, keep things going in a certain direction. And it's like, I'm not interested in fighting that, because, like, one of the things I've seen people fighting today that maybe if this was like a couple years ago, I would have it in me to, like, go after it as well. But it's because I've been doing this for so long that I know the end result already. It reminds me of, like, my earlier years in, like, 2019 or 2020 and even 2021, when it's like, and that's what kind of what you're talking about here, Gaming Survivor, the gaming media, right? You're saying the gaming media is crashing. I'm seeing people, everybody's trying to just latch on to a life raft, and the life raft in this case is, a position, a stance, a side, whatever you want to call it. And I get it. I understand why people are doing this, but it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I've seen it before and I know how it ends. And it only ends one way. And that is, like, at the end of the day, people are going to forget what happened, and they're not going to, and more importantly, they're not going to care what happened. And this is why people are so willing to just go along with it, because they under like there's like this general agreed upon understanding that like a year from now, who's going to be thinking of this? A year from now, who's going to care? And the reality is like nobody. They know that. They bank on that. Unless you can use it to your advantage and exploit somebody else, right? Like, oh, we will only remember this thing you said when it's convenient to do so, but we'll forget all the other stuff. I'm not going to fall too deep into the rabbit hole of discussing it again, but it's just like, yeah, dude, I do see people that come in here, PlayStation fans specifically, and they kind of talk about pointing out the disingenuous nature that we see from groups of people right now that, you want to talk about like the moving of the goal. I mean, really moving the goalposts, not just like a couple inches, not even like a couple feet, but I mean like picking it up and just putting it in a whole nother field, and just pretending like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, and then they try to gaslight you. Like, that's not what you just did. Some of the worst fanboys now have access with Xbox and get Phil Spencer interviews. It's sick. It's sickening. This is what I mean, where it's just like, you know what, man? I get it. Like, I get it. It's like, if we could just convince enough people, and I've seen one of the ways I've kind of been gaslit as well is like, well, maybe they just moved on. It's like, so let me get this straight. They're allowed to move on. But they're also allowed to call shit out when it's convenient for them, right? But when I do that, I get just completely dogpiled and bombarded. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what do you do? Like, what? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's like, it's a weird thing to witness. And my whole thing is like, it's all about attention. And that's, I think, what it boils down to, is it's the one commonality between all of us, like the thread that keeps all of this connected, is it's attention. It all requires attention. That is the oxygen, that is the lifeblood. And that's why I just don't care to really try to partake in it anymore, even though I could. And in some cases I feel like I should, but I try not to, because it's just, I know that there is no winning or losing. This isn't a battle. This isn't about who's right and who's wrong. And we can all convince ourselves in the moment, if we really want to, we can try to convince ourselves that this matters, and we will allow ourselves to believe that deeply in the moment, that this matters. It matters that I'm right, and that they know I'm right, and that they know they're wrong, and that everybody watching knows that. But it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter now. It's not going to matter tomorrow, and it's certainly not going to matter a month from now. It's just the way it's always been, man. It's, at some point you just kind of have to realize that, like, one of the weirdest things I'm seeing right now, and this has to do with Days Gone, and this is kind of frustrating. You're saying they get dogpiled too, they just handle it better. Well, I mean, that's true too. I guess it depends on, everybody handles it differently, and I definitely don't handle it that well. And I've just kind of accepted, like, yeah, I don't really handle it that well, and so maybe it's just best I'm not putting myself in that type of compromising position unnecessarily. Sometimes it is necessary, but most of the time you kind of look at it and you're like, was that really necessary? Like, did I really have to talk about that? Did we have to do that? It's like, no, you didn't. All right, well, it's neither here nor there. The river continues to flow. We need a Herman Hulst interview. Oh man, I would love that, bro. It would not go well. So, Mr. Hulst, can you reveal how many more Horizon projects you have in the works? Can you confirm that you like Horizon better than everything else? Can you confirm that you have a unhealthy bias towards Horizon? But one of the weirdest things I've been seeing is like with Days Gone. And this is how I kind of, you live and you learn and you experience things and hopefully you learn from it, right? I say you live and you learn, but hopefully you learn from it. Seeing what's happening with Days Gone, where it's like people talk about this game now like it's amazing. And I'm happy about that. Like like, yes, yeah, it is an amazing, like it is very good. It's a very good game. But there's kind of like some revisionist stuff going on here where it's like, it's almost like people are kind of pretending that this game that one of the reasons this game probably ended up not getting a sequel and there was like this like period of time where it's just like, yeah, we're not doing anything more Days Gone. People try to kind of pretend like it wasn't because there were large groups of either people on social media or journalists, right, that were basically dragging the game. For some of the like some reasons were valid, most of them were asinine. And it got basically treated somewhat unfairly. And this was during a time where I remember like I was a champion of this game and I was championing it because I'm like, dude, this game is great. Like, I'm not saying it's the best thing ever made, but it's definitely not nearly as bad or mediocre as a lot of people out here trying to make it sound. And there were definitely people at that time who were championing it with me and remember this. But that's why it's just so weird now to just kind of, I've seen so many conversations and the way I see people talking about it, it's like, yeah, they make fun of like Sony for remastering this game, of course, but putting that aside, like there's so much positivity towards it where I'm like, where were you guys? Like, like why, like, it makes me wonder, like, did people fall for it? And that, like, that's the scary realization is like, were people falling for the bullshit surrounding Days Gone, where it's like, oh yeah, it's a complete broken mess at launch. Wasn't true. If God forbid you read the reviews from IGN or GameSpot, you would think that wow, they're giving this game a 5 out of 10, absolute trash. And you look at the reasons they're giving it a 5 out of 10, and it's like has like nothing to do with the gameplay, has nothing to do with the game. It's just like journalists who are upset about politics. And this is what I mean, where it's like, yeah, it turns out this game was always great. It's just people were dragging this game for their own benefit to kind of fit a specific narrative. And it actually ended up hurting the game at the end of the day. And now that it's done and it's over, it's getting another chance with the remaster. Suddenly you're not really seeing that. You're not really seeing that anymore because it's, yeah, like the truth is kind of out now. Like it turns out Days Gone was pretty damn good. Turns out it was a pretty good game. And that's where it was a kind of a lesson learned for me where it's like, yeah, it's sad that things like this happen, but they happen all the time with different games, different products. But yeah, sometimes there are actual like real consequences of like, let's face it, man. We just had the director of The Order 1886 admit that if The Order had gotten like 8 to 10 more points on Metacritic, they probably would have gotten a sequel. So it like absolutely, these journalists and these people who try to dogpile these products, it's like they definitely have an impact on the outcome. And sometimes it's just not fair, There was another backlash / concern from the public when Sony revealed that there's just one writer for Days Gone. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it wasn't perfect. You could make the argument that maybe it would have been better if there were maybe a few more people involved with the writing, because there were some moments for Days Gone where the writing was definitely not that strong and certain things kind of dragged out and got a little bit awkward at times. But, it's not a perfect game, but it was just kind of wild to me, like seeing like, bro, why am I seeing a GameSpot? And it's just why like you can't help but look at review scores, and we still care about looking at Metacritic scores to a degree and seeing what people are saying. But man, at the end of the day, if there's something that I know is true, so many people had that firsthand experience of you just play a game and you just ignore what the reviewers are saying. You just ignore what anybody's saying. You just see it for yourself and you're like, this is actually great. Like I kind of like it just turns out that what people are saying about this game just doesn't matter. It's actually awesome. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like, yeah, this is terrible, you know? But you find out for yourself. Sony can't get away with buggy launches on like the rest of the gaming world. I mean, I'm not trying to say Days Gone didn't. It did have bugs. Like there was some kind of mishap, and it's unfortunate because this definitely hurt the game too. From what I understand, there was like a day one patch that was supposed to go live. Like, well, it did go live the day the game launched, but certain reviewers didn't get that patch, and so they got like a version that still had a lot of bugs and crashes and glitches and stuff like that. No, I have to give her some. Forgot to give Luna her snacks. The PlayStation tax. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry for going on that diatribe there about Days Gone. I don't even. Sometimes I don't even know how I get on to some of these topics. But saying sorry I'm late. Just started at the beginning. Pricing will be PS6's biggest challenge due to common folk not understanding or even caring about the. I guess you're continuing your chat there. Days Gone was probably attacked because it wasn't woke enough. I mean, there were some of that nonsense going on. Like again, some of the like social justice stuff going on with Days Gone that was just so cringe. It's like, oh, another you know, cis white male protagonist or whatever, and like, why are all the zombies white? It's like they're albino, like their skin turns pure white due to the infection. They explain that in the game. It's just like so cringe where it's like, holy shit, these are people that are quote unquote professionals, you know? And it's awkward. It's awkward, man. It's awkward to watch unfold. What day is the God of War anniversary? I believe it is March 22nd. Pretty sure it's March 22nd. You're doing your first ever playthrough of Days Gone and you love it. I'm glad to hear that, man. Yeah, Days Gone was such a good game, man. It really was. Like, it makes me sad because I feel like Bend was really showing their true potential with Days Gone. Like, they really were. And now it's just like, yeah, I don't know what happens next with them, dude. They spent the last like 4 years making a live service game that ended up getting canceled and we never even saw. And so, Gaming Survivor, no way. Oh, Gaming Survivor, that's a sentence, bro. That is a sentence. God damn. But yeah, man, Days Gone, I really felt like was showing the true potential of what Ben could do. But what are you gonna do, you know? On the bright side, Split Fiction looks like a real good game with a Metacritic of 90. You came back to Gaming Survivor's Toaster comment. What did I walk into? Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. I don't know what you walked into. Well, I realized we just hit the 2.5 hour mark, and I do want to do a members lounge today for a little bit. So here's what we'll do. I'll throw this out here just because I haven't really been mentioning it throughout the stream. I'll keep this stream going for like another 5 or so minutes. We're at 32 members. Okay, so we're 18 members away from hitting 50. If we hit 50, we will do some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater gameplay in the members lounge. If we don't hit the 50, it's okay. We're still going to do a members lounge. It'll just be a regular one. But I want to at least give 5 more minutes to throw that out there in case, last call for any fan funding, any support. We'll check on this poll. That's interesting. Most of you guys are... What's interesting is that most of you guys are saying 2028 for the PS6 launch, but The second most voted for is 2029 or later. Very interesting. Let me get out of here. PlayStation beta program launch. Wonder what people are saying about this PlayStation beta program. Yo, I bet you Sony's gonna be like, we invite you to our showcase beta. Imagine that. Imagine you're like, we have a showcase prepared, but we have to beta test it because we don't want another disaster like 2023. Get early access to the showcase. You're under strict NDA, bro. You leak anything, you are getting sued to oblivion. That's so stupid. Shuhei hinted at 2028 launch for PS6. When do I think we'll get a Horizon 3? What about God of War being in Egypt? I don't want them turning God of War into Assassin's Creed. I don't think they'll turn God of War into Assassin's Creed. When it comes to it being in Egypt, I mean, that's what the rumors have hinted at, but we haven't really had we haven't had like a leak or rumor with real substance regarding God of War being in Egypt. Not yet, anyway. Horizon 3, Guerrilla Games did confirm a while ago that Horizon 3 is in development, but that's, if I had to guess, I think that's going to be maybe a PlayStation 6 launch title around that time. I think it will be cross-gen. I don't think it's going to be a PS6 only game. Certainly not. PlayStation beta program means that Sony's live service games push has officially begun. Well, there's no doubt that Sony's going to continue with live service games. I know that we've seen the kind of aftermath of the live service games push. You know, we've seen many games canceled. We've seen something like Concord come out. We saw the success of Helldivers 2, but you know, the reality of the market is Sony doesn't really have a choice. Like, I know people think they have a choice, but no, they really don't. Sony has to do something in live service. I think the biggest mistake they made wasn't choosing to do live service. I think the biggest mistake they made was not understanding that the shotgun approach maybe was an unwise approach, and slow and steady would have been, you know, inch by inch, as it were, would have been a better way to handle pursuing live service rather than trying to sprint out of the gate, doing everything at one time and assuming that there's no way it can fail. So I think that Sony is going to continue to pursue live service, but they have to be much more considerate of how, you know, of how they're doing it. They really need to kind of hone in on, you know, these beta tests that they're going to do, this whole beta program. This could be a godsend for something like that, you know, where they're going to learn real quick, like, oh shit, okay, yeah, no. I mean, fair games beta. Come on in. Let us know how much you hate it. Guerrilla really is making another Horizon back to back. They must be bored by now. I'm a little bit unsettled, just a little bit, by how committed Guerrilla is to Horizon. It's a little bit unsettling. Where it's like, I get it. Like, I understand that it's by far and away your most successful franchise, but I don't like the fact that they've just seemingly gotten comfortable being like, yeah, we're just the Horizon studio forever now. Like, we have no intention of doing anything else ever. I don't like that. Like, because that is boring. Like, I understand that that's like what Santa Monica has basically done with God of War, but it's very spaced out. And even Santa Monica's working on a new game now. You know what I mean? Like, I just hope that's not what Guerrilla's doing, man, because I just feel like there's so much potential for them to do something. And I don't have a problem with Horizon. I like the Horizon universe. I do think it is an interesting universe. And I've liked the games, but it's just, I'm just afraid, bro, that like, they're just gonna be like, so you guys ready for like Horizon 7? And it's like, no. You know what I mean? The beta asks a survey and asks if you prefer PC or PS5. Interesting. I listen, I've told you guys. I told you. I know that there are some really hardcore PlayStation players that they don't like what Sony's doing on PC, and some people even think that Sony's backing away from PC. I don't think so, man. I do not think so. I think that all they see is the success that they found with Helldivers 2 on PC, and they understand that that's going to play a vital role in the future for them. Doesn't mean they're undermining the console, mind you. It just means that you think day and date. I mean, I don't know that we've had that conversation too many times. You guys know how I feel about day and date. I am prepared for it. You know, I've told you guys to expect it, but I'm not necessarily convinced it's going to happen like that. You know, I think it's going to be they're doing it inch by inch, step by step. The beta program is built specifically for testing out their live service games. That's not what they said. No. The beta program seems to extend to everything PlayStation. Like, that's my understanding of it. The beta program that we talked about at the very beginning of the stream, it seems like it basically extends to everything PlayStation. I'm really, really curious to see what other type of announcements we get from Sony this not this generation, but this year. Because, dude, like, we are... One of the things that I didn't quite understand, and I missed this, and it's pretty huge. I was so focused on Jim Ryan, I was so focused on Herman Hulst that I didn't really fully grasp the notion that, dude, Sony's CEO just got replaced. Hiroki Totoki just replaced Sony's CEO. And I really put that together when Shuhei Yoshida recently revealed that the live service push really came from the top. It came from Kenichiro Yoshida, Sony's former CEO. Sorry about that. I had to let Luna out. I didn't realize that. Like, I guess it does make sense, but I never really knew that. I always thought that it was like the other way around. I always thought it was like Jim Ryan's in charge now. He has this brilliant idea of going all in with live service, and Sony's CEO is going to be all on board because it sounds great, and the shareholders are going to be on board because they definitely want that. But it was the other way around, man. If you listen to what Shuhei Yoshida said in that, I think specifically that Colin Moriarty interview, he made it pretty clear, at least in my opinion, that this was from the top down, like, guys, listen, we've been studying up on the gaming industry. You got to get some live service games. Like, we need some successful live service games. We're going to give you a bunch of money and resources, but we need to get those live service games spooled up. And that's why I think it's very telling. I think it's very telling that Kenichiro Yoshida was replaced, because it seemed like it was his big idea of, like, we got to go all in with the live service for PlayStation, because that's where the money's at. And it's true, Helldivers was a product of that, but so was all the cancellations, right? So it's like, we got one good thing. You know, you're like 1 for 9. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's a win. It's a big win, but you still lost 9, you know? So it's like somebody's got to pay for that. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because, like, dude, I feel like I've been saying this for the last year and a half, but now it really is solidified. Like, it is as true as it could possibly be that we are looking at a completely new PlayStation from top to bottom, except for Herman Hulst, of course. But really, like, we have no idea what Hiroki Totoki is going to request from PlayStation. We don't know what his mandate is going to be for Hideaki Nishino, who is now the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. And we have no idea what's going to be asked of Herman now. We don't know anything, dude. And that's why I feel so little confidence in trying to, because, like, that's the big thing, right? Like, let's talk about what's going to happen, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's like, dude, I used to feel more confident, but I've lost that confidence because I have no idea. I can't even begin to tell you anything about Hiroki Totoki as the CEO of Sony. I don't know what the only thing I can tell you is that guy is the bean counter. He's the money guy. And he says, a way he describes himself is he's obsessed with growth. So it's like, I don't know what that guy's going to ask of PlayStation. I don't know what Hideaki Nishino is going to do as the head of Sony Interactive Entertainment. And that's why I find the timing of this beta program so interesting, because it does seem to indicate that they are getting ready for some big changes, man. And they need feedback. They need data. They need to know how the PlayStation fan base is going to feel about stuff that's not ready to go public. And I would expect there's going to be some good stuff. And I'm not trying to say I'm worried. I know it comes off as like, I'm not necessarily concerned. It's just I'm kind of ready for anything, in a way where it's like, yeah, man, completely new leadership all the way to the very top. Completely new leadership. It's a new era for Sony, not just PlayStation. It's literally a new era for Sony. And so that is going to also mean it's a new era for PlayStation. I don't know. I don't feel confident in predicting. I mean, I can try to make my predictions. Like, I would like to think that Hiroki Totoki understands that the Bungie acquisition was a huge mistake, that the aggressive pursuit of live service was a mistake, that, single player games are your bread and butter. They have been your bread and butter. And that, hopefully that extends to, if Hiroki Totoki doesn't feel confident, because, that's the thing. Maybe he doesn't come from PlayStation, so maybe he doesn't understand it as well. He doesn't understand gaming. I think he comes from Sony's mobile division, actually. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be like, we're just going to leave it to you guys. You guys know what you're doing. Like, we're not going to mandate anything. Just, like, do a good job and make lots of money. Like, or else. And maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe it really will be on Hideaki Nishino's. Maybe it will be up to him, where it's like, it's all on you, bro. What's the play? What's the game plan? You were already accepted into the beta program. You just answer a survey. I'm going to see if I can do it. Let me go check. I'll do this and then we'll head over to the members lounge for a little bit. Join now. Welcome to the PlayStation beta program at PlayStation. Following screens will guide you through the registration process. Gotta complete a questionnaire. All right. You know what? I'm not sure if I don't know if I should. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this on stream. I don't know if I'm allowed. I'm not going to start this or anything yet, because I don't think I'm allowed to do it on stream. But all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wrap up this stream, okay? And we're going to head over to a members lounge for a little while. Mr. Bills, you got accepted into it? Nice. Yeah, we're gonna head over to a members lounge for a little while and hang out there. But before I go, I do want to extend a big thank you to everybody who supports the channel. Okay. All right. Yeah, I figured that, Chris. I figured that. But yeah, thank you to everybody who hung out with me today and tuned into the stream. I also want to make sure to specifically thank everybody who dropped membership gifts. We got 32 members today, which is great to see. Anybody who dropped a super chat or direct donations, we are completely fan funded here. I can only create this content and continue to do what I do here because you guys make it possible. So seriously, thank you so much for allowing me to do this. And yeah, so I also want to give a shout out to Devil Shooter. Devil Shooter does the timestamps for all the streams. If you guys see him in the comments, give him some thanks, show him some love. I know he really appreciates that. And yeah, so that about does it, guys. This stream is going to end, and almost immediately after, the members lounge is going to go up. So if you're a channel member, I will see you over there. To everybody else, I will catch you in the next stream. So till then, take care, everyone.